Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is that you're listening
or
watching this latest episode of Turfcast podcast with me, Joe Redmond, and my co-host, Simon Townley. How are you doing, mate?
I'm good, thanks. You?
Yeah, all good, all good. Been up so much this week?
Yeah, got lots and lots of work on. I won't bore everyone because it's all hair related, but I've got lots of work on and filming and recording. And to tell you what, right? Don't know if there's any kids that listen to this that are red hot at it, and you might even benefit from this. But I need someone who can help me with TikTok, mate, because I can make them, but I want to make them cool and better.
Well, my TikToks are dog shit, so I can edit videos. You say that I've got a 550k view one up, but that's just because it's a funny video. It's not to do with the edit.
Exactly.
If you don't follow me on TikTok, you can. I have a video with 550k views on it. It is a stolen video, but it doesn't matter. That's how the internet works. But I don't know. I don't know. I can edit videos and stuff, but I've never done it the TikTok way. I'm sure it's quite easy to learn if you know how to edit a video, but am I down with the TikTok trends? Probably not. So you probably would need someone who's good with that sort of stuff. Transitions. Well, March, I can't do that because they do it. Like if you watch it on YouTube, they do all this like stuff and turn and then up and then round and then it's like, oh, you're doing that? What's that? And I watched a TikTok of a woman showing how she does it. So she's got a camera, and I'm like, what? That is insane.
Glasses on.
Yeah. Right. Man, she's there, hat on, hat off. It's all within like a second, and it just looks, it's insane. And then honestly,
there's no way that's real. And then she shows it back, it was finished. I'm like, oh, fuck. It's like a day for me to do that. It doesn't look like
a day. It took me a year, and I'm the guy that edits videos. Yeah. Are you going to pay? Are you going to pay who gets in touch?
If we depends how good they are.
There you go. And to be honest, I know some kids do listen to this. I say kids, not 8-year-olds. Some at like Burnley football Twitter, I think, listen to it. So there's a couple of people on Instagram that are a younger generation that listen to it. So yeah, there you go. Simon wants a TikToker because he's seen my viral video and he's got jealous, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's happened, unfortunately.
Well, see, we had this conversation before that. Don't do that to me.
No, we
didn't. We did. I get paid now to make shit, and I don't know how to make shit. So I'm just getting paid to like think about how to make shit at the minute.
Yeah. But yeah, all good then. Let's get into it then. The Everton game. Obviously, it's good to look back at a good game this week. But of course, Everton won. In fact, just before I do get onto that, my bad. We are of course sponsored by PitchSport, as you can see there at the bottom of your screen. If you watch it on YouTube or you watch it on Facebook on Friday, we are of course sponsored by PitchSport. If you haven't already, please go and download the app. It is available on the Google Play Store and the App Store, and it is available in both the UK and Ireland now. But anyway, Everton 1, Burnley 2. Simon Townley, go.
Well, it was a surprise. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say I expected it. I didn't expect it to get turned over, but I did not expect that performance. What an away performance, number one. Number two, we only score worldies at Goodison Park. That's a fact now. Yeah. That's a fact. Goal of the seasons will only be scored at Goodison Park from future reference. So just put your bets on that. What else is there? There was a lot to go through, and we will go through it, I'm sure. But just a wonderful Burnley performance, which is not often we can say them words together.
Yeah, let's talk about the goals then first. The first goal came at the perfect time, I think, for this podcast because we spoke about last week on the podcast the high press, the Burnley high press, and how we spoke about how it's become a bit more prevalent. More obvious is what I meant in the last few games, because we got the goal against Leicester through the high press. We got the goal against Arsenal through the high press. And then, of course, we got the goal against Everton, the first goal through the high press. And I think a lot of it is the introduction of Vydra and mainly, for me, Josh Brownhill, because he's just got so much energy. He's just got so much energy both on the ball and off the ball. He could be better with the ball at his feet. I agree with that. But I think off the ball is where he helps us in midfield. I think his tenacity and so, like, how full of energy is just fantastic. And I think that's why we are now much better, or we have been much better in the last few games at the high press. Because of course, the first goal was scored by Chris Wood. Everton have it in the middle of the park, and can't remember which Everton player had it. And Brownhill wins the ball. Just the pressing, just sheer straight on him. I think, who were it? Tom Davies. It was Tom Davies. Yeah, you're right. And Brownhill forces him into the mistake. Brownhill then makes the tackle and then obviously gets the ball out to Dwight, who comes in, cuts it to Chris Wood, who just bends it delightfully. Past Godfrey, past Pickford. It was delightful. And I tell you what, I'll say it again. I said it on Twitter this week. That goal went under the radar because of how good Dwight's was. And you can understand why it went under the radar, because Dwight's was a worldie, but Chris's was a very, very, very tidy finish.
Yeah, Chris... The composure almost scared me into it. He's took too long here because he got the ball, he opened his body up, and then he almost sort of assessed it before he decided to caress it. Another good adjective. But yeah, he sort of assessed it before he hit it. And I'm like, come on, man, hit the ball. And even then, I don't think I expected a goal. Even when I was sort of in my head screaming, come on, man, hit it, I didn't expect a goal because there was still two defenders and a goalkeeper in sort of vicinity of him. So he weren't necessarily a given that he was going to put it in, but because he took that time, he saw and he just bent it outside the post and it come back in. What a finish! I am going to go against the grain.
Okay,
as good as a finish as it were, I do think it was a foul on Davies.
Dear,
yeah,
expand, because even Jamie Carragher said it wasn't a foul in commentary, and I've got to agree with you. I don't think it's a foul
because the same Burnley fans would say that the handball should have been a penalty that we'll go on to in a second, will be saying that wasn't a foul. Well, for me, both things are: a player has made a mistake because he's kicked a Burnley player, or the Burnley player's kicked him. I can't 100% decide. But what that has done is that's then made him kick his own back of his leg and he's tumbled over. We then got possession. There's a turnover in play. We've got the ball and we've scored within two passes. The same handball people that will say that that's definitely a penalty because his arm's up here. Ben Mee's got his arms all over him, to be fair, and he is pushing him down. Would he have handballed it if he didn't have an arm over the top of his shoulder? Which is then, people would say, well, his arm should be up there. No, it shouldn't be. But then Tom Davies wouldn't have fallen if he didn't get the contact. So that's
right. Well, obviously, we obviously can't put it onto the podcast and the vodcast for copyright reasons. But I'm going to watch it now, and I'm going to go through it again. So Davies collects it, and I just think it's good pressure. I've just seen it again. I just think it's good pressure, and I just think he wins the ball for me because of that pressure. To be honest, it's a bit zoomed out, so you can't really see which. Yeah, he gets the ball. Yeah, I think for me, I don't think it's fair. I agree with you on the handball, but I guess we can get into that in a second. But for that, I just think it's, as I've said it before, it's the tenacity and of Brownhill. I've said that word twice now. I should pick a new one. That wins us that goal and wins that ball in midfield, and that is why he is such a valuable, and for me at the minute, the best central midfielder at the club that we have for the way that we play.
Yeah, I mean, even though I say it's a foul, I'm just saying by the letter of the law, he would not have fallen without that contact, and the contact was before the ball. I'm glad it wasn't given a foul in the benefit of our behaviour, but if it was the other way around, our centre midfielder, who he's back towards the play, gets bundled over, as I would see it if it was the other way around. I would be saying sort of like, where's the support there? But I did say before the game, say it again now, Davies is there. He's not as good as the Hart for me. I've watched him play a few times now for seasons. I forget how young he is, by the way.
Yeah, he's still young.
But Decore, when he were out, I said to you on the last podcast, he is head and shoulders. I said it in the watch along. Their sort of best midfielder, and Tom Davies is not on the same level, and we exploited it. So it was great pressure, like you said, because we knew he was a weak link.
Yeah, and obviously Alan was missing as well, or Alan, as someone on the what were it called? The pre-game show called him, the lad from Everton, I think, or someone called it him. But anyway, but obviously, sorry,
sure he played. He did play.
Who was the other injury? Sorry, Rodriguez.
Yes,
obviously, the two summer-sided. I think it would have been a different game with Ducara and Rodriguez, definitely. But I think we won that game because of the midfield. We won that game in the middle, and that's why I think it would have been a different game. But I've just seen the replay again because, like you say, it does show a replay of the Tom Davies foul again in the replay of the goal. And yeah, I can't agree with you on that one. Unfortunately, I think that one is a foul. But we'll get on to the handball. Again, I'll just try and quickly move this video on so I can see that the handball firsthand. But I agree with you. I think it'd be harsh. He's just showing it now, McNeil with the corner. And who is it at the back? Is it Godfrey?
I can't remember who it was, sorry, but it was obviously Ben Mee.
Yeah, it's Ben Mee. Yeah, it'll be harsh that. Yeah, it doesn't matter who the Everton player is, to be fair. But I agree with you on that one. I don't think it's a penalty, and I didn't really think it was a penalty at the time. You can't sit there and crowd foul of the ones that we don't get given and expect that one to be given. Ben Mee's all over him. If anything, if you're going to give anything for that, you're going to give a free kick to Everton because of Ben Mee being all over him. But I'm not saying I think that's a foul by Ben Mee. I think Ben Mee's within his right to go for that ball. And his arm is then it is in an unnatural position, but it's in an unnatural position because of Ben. And then he can't even get it down because of Ben. So it's not a penalty for me.
If anybody watches that back, you can see that the defender's got his head down. He's not even looking up anymore because he's got that much pressure over his back.
Yeah.
I think that would have been one that if he'd have given handball to the referee, the VAR would have asked him to look at it to see if it's a foul on him first. People will say that was definitely a penalty, definitely an handball because his arms are above. Kieran Phillips will be one that definitely says that. I can tell you that now. That it was.
Well, what did he say on the watch along? What did he say on the watch along?
Penalty.
What about Johnny Tate? What did Johnny Tate and Jared say on the watch along?
I don't remember. I don't remember their opinion, but I'm sure they'll put it in the chat. But yeah, for me, it wasn't a penalty, especially when you're looking. We're at 7 days earlier that we played Arsenal, if that. And then the Peters one where his arm's out. If that's not an handball, then there's no chance in hell that the Everton one was an handball.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I agree with you on that one. I don't think it's a handball, but we disagreed on the Brownhill foul. I'll go full YouTube on people now. If you're watching on YouTube, let us know in the comments below what you think. Was it a foul on Davies by Brownhill? Yes or no? And was it a penalty, or should it have been a penalty to Burnley because of the handball from the Everton player? I think it's Godfrey. Looking back at it, though, I'm not sure it is because of the pressure on Ben Mee. But that brings us on nicely, and I'm sure we can talk about this. I'm sure we can wax lyrical, as they say, about this for a long time. Dwight McNeil with an absolute sensational goal to make it 2-0 to Burnley. Absolutely fantastic goal. Left foot ping. Pickford, nowhere near it. He dives like diagonally. I don't know what he's doing. It's a weird dive from Pickford, but it don't matter who's in the net. I'm not going to sit here and criticise Pickford. That's not the reason why that goes in the net. It doesn't go in because of his dive. It goes in because it was such a sensational goal. Even if that effort was in Pope, I don't think Pope would have saved it. Some people might disagree because Pope is a bit taller. But Pickford's nowhere near it. A sensational goal from Dwight, and I just was not expecting it as well because he's so far out. It was one of them moments where he has had a bit of a hit and miss season, let's be honest. And when he's hitting it, I remember thinking, Dwight. But then obviously he just sails in beautifully to the top corner and makes it 2-0.
Do you know what? It was one of them. Someone commented in it, and I watched it back, and I'm going to say what he said. I can't remember it word, forgive me, but you'll know if you're listening. But someone tweeted saying it was like, basically we were having comparisons to Messi, and I'm sure you can go into what you got the other day for that. That was funny. But and he was saying how he demands the ball, and before he's even received the ball, he's already looked at where Pickford is. He's already looked at the corner that he's going to aim for. And if you actually slow it down, you can see that. Now, he does do that, but I would expect anybody who's about to have a shot to be able to say, right, I know exactly where I'm going to put this now. But what a finish it was. Number one, Pope, Schmeichel, Manu Schmeichel, the original, the OG. No, Neuer would not have saved that because you've got to dive outside the net and the angles of the net to get to it because it's gone out and it's not come back into the last second because it's hit the bar and gone in. It's crazy. I can't remember if it hit it properly.
Yeah, well, just watching it now. I watched it 3 or 4 times, and I think I've already watched it about 1,000 times. I'm not going to lie to you, but it's the very top of the post. Like you can't get any closer.
No, you can't save that. The only way you can save it is if you dive out past the post, like I said. And maybe that was the reason for the angle of the dive. Maybe he's realised that's going out and in. I've got to sort of cut it off before it gets there. I can't speak on behalf of him, but for me, no one is saving that. What a finish. rightfully so in most people's teams of the weeks. He was in Alan Shearer's off top of my head. He was in the Who Scored one. He was in the European one, weren't he, as well? The top European League one.
Under 21 European or something, yeah.
That was it, something like that, yeah. I mean, not just that, but can we kind of rewind it a bit? He had he had the best game this season that he's had this season. He was old.
Like I said, there's been like 3 games where Dwight has been fantastic, where he's been sensational. Palace away, Liverpool away, Everton away, and obviously we won all 3 of them. When he's on song, we're on song.
He was so good. He was the old Dwight, the one that we want, the one that we sort of built. We built the hype about him from his performances. We were the ones who said this kid's going to go far. But the whole team's underperformed to a degree, and all of a sudden now they're all looking like the old players, the ones that we need to play, the ones that we need to be on form. Chris Wood with that finish, the composure, Poppy save after save, Dwight McNeil assists, Brownhill putting him under pressure in the centre mid instead of right mid. Goodison, we're only getting 60 minutes out of it, but he's so much better as a winger than Brownhill is. So it all starting to come together.
Yeah, the team's starting to look like a team again.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I'm happy with that. Just as well, just going back to the Dwight McNeil goal as well. The reason why we can't forget that Alan was playing is because Dwight McNeil, here we go, just turns him inside out, man. That guy, his blood apparently is still twisted. He needs to go to doctors to get his blood untwisted because Dwight turned him inside out that much. Honestly, he just gets the ball, looks at him, and as you see he's Pickford off his line, I think, at this point, and his poor positioning, I think it's fair to say. Just absolutely destroys Alan and then bends it into the top corner. I can't stop talking about it. It's just such a good goal.
Which one's better, the 50 passes at Goodison or whatever it was, or this one?
I think this one. I prefer long range efforts.
Yeah.
I've always preferred long range efforts to tick attacker, passy sort of like goals. Don't get me wrong. The 150 odd passes or whatever it was finished off by my name of Jeff Hendrick. A sensational team goal. The goal itself is, it's all right. I think who is it? Warney passes it to him and then he feints away from an Everton player, and it's still a decent finish. But that Dwight McNeil one, I think for me, I think we'll be watching it as we have done with the Hendrick one. We're watching it in like another 5-6 years and going, remember this? Oh, I want to go that way.
Well, let's see what everyone else in the chat says. Which one's your favourite? The Hendrick or the McNeil? We'll call them just for ease.
Yeah. Definitely. If you watch it on YouTube, put it in the comments. If you watch it on Facebook, get it in the chat, as Simon says. But which is your favourite goal? The Hendrick one at Everton or the McNeil one at Everton? What's yours?
I think there's that whole thing in there. If it hits like for example, if Lawton's volley the other day had hit the bar post and gone in, it'd have had a lot more sort of press than it even got, because they always look better, don't they? So grazing that crossbar, dropping in, coming outside and in, technically. That is I refrain. I don't want to say technically. That is the better looking goal by a country mile, but technically the Hendrick goal is the best goal for me.
Yeah, I've always liked long. My favourite goals are like long range screamers. I just absolutely love them. Yeah, exactly. It's just and the way he turns Alan inside out as well. You got to add that to it. Absolutely perfect. But let's move on, because we could do a special podcast episode on McNeil's goal. It was that good. We could discuss it from every single angle, get 15 different opinions on it. Ex-pros, professionals, Everton fans. We could have a special podcast on McNeil's goal. So we best move on before it turns into that. Not long after that, then I'll just get the clip back up as it doesn't load, which is annoying. There we go. It's just showing McNeil's goal again on the replay. Not long after that, though, we did concede. Calvert-Lewin with the goal for Everton. I was quite disappointed with this one. It was a strange goal and a poor goal. Not necessarily poor, is probably a bit harsh, but a weird goal to concede. I thought the defence was too static, but with the way that cross came in at such a force, I think that's why the defence was so static. But the defence was static, and that's why Calvert-Lewin managed to get his header away and past Port. So I was quite disappointed with it, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a bit deflating because of the time of it. We were on top, dominating in all areas. 2-0 up. Looked like we could score 4 or 5 at that point, if I'm honest with you. I was really confident that we're going to take the game to them. So then to just concede, it kind of brought us back to reality. It almost stopped the attack it certainly did for the rest of the half. It almost hindered us because we thought, shit, actually, we could quite easily be back to 2-2, and then it were all for nothing. But it was disappointing. The ball came in. It was too easy. It was on the left-hand side, crossed in. Easy header. How did he get in some teams of the week, by the way? What team of the week did he get in?
He got in that Budweiser King, Premier League King. Apparently, what it is, right, it's always fucking bullshit, this. And I don't say the term fucking bullshit lightly, but on this occasion, it is absolutely fucking bullshit. Well, apparently what it is this is a vote. So people are allowed to vote for their king of the match. And because it's associated to the Premier League, it is therefore associated to the Fantasy Football Premier League, so the premierleague.fantasyfootball.com. So what people do is they vote for people who are in their fantasy team, no matter how they've played, knowing that they're going to get extra points. So more people would have had Calvert-Lewin in than Nick Pope or McNeil, for example. So more people have been voting for Calvert-Lewin. The Premier Leagues need to fucking bin it off. It's an absolute fucking disgrace. That's what it is. The Premier Leagues need to get rid of it. It's a joke. Honestly, the tweet that they put out every single week has just got 10 fucking reprobates on it. It's like, why have you picked any of them? And none of them 10 deserve it. And they never do. Like, the only Burnley player I've ever really seen on it is Nick Pope. And sometimes we'll win like 3-2. And I think against Villa, when we beat Villa 3-2, Nick Pope were king at match and he conceded 2 goals, for God's sake. It's just a shambles. But yeah, he should have been in that team. It should have been Dwight.
Yeah, even the Everton fans were saying that on your post about it. I think I was seeing it on Turfcast thread on Twitter that people were saying, I'm an Everton fan and DCL never did anything really other than that goal.
Yeah, I did see that. He was quite poor. Although I will point out that obviously you did a new thing on the watch along last week. We won't have a watch along for a while now because there's no game where you asked me, Jared, Johnny, and Kieran. Obviously, I wasn't on the watch along, but you were getting the 4 or 5 Turfcast lads involved to get what rate, sort of like a builder bet thing. And I said DCL shot on target, and I think it were like evens. You know, it weren't a horrific price. Evens is rating enough. I've backed horses less than that at Cheltenham this week, and I'm going to continue to do so as well. There's Monkfish running today, so get some money on that. It's not going to make you rich, but it will win. And that came in, obviously, because DCL scored a goal, so DCL had a shot on target. What else came in on that bet, if you can remind everybody?
Nothing, mate. It was stupid.
Nothing. So how we're getting loads of shit? How are the only one that got it right?
I said this to him. So what we'll do for next time is we need to educate them that this is a builder bet. So even if it's an evens, like
it doesn't
matter
in
the next 5 minutes, then the odds are when you build 5 together, you're going to get a 25-1, and then somebody's going to win themselves 50 quid or whatever if we put 2 quid on it. And that's all it was for, but they made it ridiculous. It was like 150-1. It wouldn't even let me put my selection on because mine was Chris Wood to have a shot on target. It wouldn't even let me put mine on because the odds were too ridiculous already.
Yeah. Well, like I say, if you're doing a builder bet or a treble, something at evens isn't really that bad. Obviously, 4 or 5 evens, that's soon going to push it up. I've got a treble on a few horses today. I think 2 of them are odds on. So, when you're doing stuff like that. But yeah, that's something that we will look to do. It was a good idea that I enjoyed it, even though I weren't part of it.
It made the game good as well, because even if you're losing, it gives the audience something to keep watching for.
Yeah, so what was the actual plan with it as well? You were going to get some of the Turfcast audience involved, weren't you, as well, or give some of it away or something, were it?
Give it all away. So basically, the rule of thumb was we all pick one thing that we think will definitely happen. I put 2 quid on it, which doesn't seem like a lot, but I will give it away to one person in the chat by using this website. I can't remember it now. It's on my history thing of it's like a random comment picker for Facebook, and then also the comment I would have picked was somebody who tagged a friend to watch the streams. And then to make sure that it was definitely the tag to watch the stream and not someone taking the piss, I said, just put what you think next to it. So if it said, for example, Joe Redmond at Simon Townley 2-1, you'd have won it and I'd have PayPal'd it over. But that was the rule of it.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. That's something we can definitely do for the next few watch-alongs. We might tweak it a little bit. I don't know. We'll see how we get on, depending on who's hosting, whether it's me or Simon. I'm sure if Johnny did it, he'd just keep the money anyway. No, I'm joking. Johnny might not do it anyway. But yeah, for the Southampton game, but something we'll look to do. And yeah, we could reward people who shared it, who've tagged their mates in it, whatever. Yeah. We'll just quickly move on, because one thing we haven't mentioned, as my stream shows the Calvert-Lewin goal again, it's the defence is static, as I said, but I've mentioned that, so we'll move on. But one thing we forgot to mention is before Calvert-Lewin scored, we hit the post.
Yeah, who hit that? Were it Brownhill?
Goodmanson. And it was a decent effort.
Goodmanson. Yeah. Disappointing, like I said, because at the time that goal went in, we were really taking the game to him, mate. We could have gone 3-4 at half time. It was just that kind of deflated us and put us back on the ground, really, because we were flying, mate. We were absolutely buzzing at that point.
Yep, and then Ben Mee hits the crossbar in the second half as well.
Well, second half, it were a more even game, I won't lie. I think the first half we absolutely battered him.
Yeah, well, we obviously didn't need to do anything, did we, in the second half? Vidra's had a chance saved as well.
Yeah, well, we got Vidra played really well again. It's all right saying he tries hard, but he did actually play well today. He in this game, sorry. But I'm just looking back at the stats now. 14 shots, which was even. We had 5 on target to their 4. 5 shots on target. 2 of them won't have even counted as being on target if they hit the post and the crossbar.
Yeah,
they don't even count. So that should have been. We'll call it 7 for argument's sake, because they were really good shots, and they should be recognised as being a stat. So that means half of the shots out of the 14 were theoretically on target. What a performance, mate, attacking wise. And is that because of the strikers? We mention it time and time again, or is that because the midfield is linking up?
I think it's both. I think the midfield won the battle in that game. But I think what Vidra does is he stretches the play, so the midfield have that space to get on the ball and to high press as well. Because I think Vidra helps us with the high press. I think that is something we need to recognise. Obviously, we spoke about the high press a lot recently, and we already have done in this podcast. But yeah, I think Vidra creates the space and drags Wood up. Because I think Wood, when he's playing with someone like Barnes or Jay who sits deep, Wood just sort of like follows the sort of like where the space is, and I think Vidra's helping create it. Whereas when he's playing with Wood or Jay, he can end up being dragged into midfield and on the central midfielder's toes, to be honest. So I think the space that Vidra creates is vital to it. And I think the energy that Brownhill brings in the middle is vital to it as well, because he's the one that's succeeding this high press for us. So he certainly was against Everton as well, because that's why we scored the first goal. So it's all well and good people criticising Vidra and saying, he can't finish, which, to be fair, I don't really disagree with. But there is a bit more to it. If we have Vidra playing like this and Chris Wood finishing like he did against Everton, because let's remember, he's got 2 in 2 now. All right, one was off his arse, but they all count. He's got 2 in 2 now. Hopefully Chris Wood can find the form that he had last season and the season before. And you've got another player there creating the space. It doesn't necessarily matter too much if he can't finish, as long as Chris Wood is finishing. And at the minute, Chris Wood is doing so. So yeah, we've looked very, very good recently. That's 3 very, very good performances in the last 3 games, and we've got 5 points from it. When, as I pointed out on Twitter recently, a lot of people, when I put the March prediction up, a lot of people were predicting 0, but yeah, obviously we managed to get 5.
Yeah, do you know what? Like just sort of like echoing what you're saying, really. But Vidra is getting so much chance and so much opportunity and space because people like Chris Wood are doing the hold up play. He's flicking it on. He's winning these headers. But time and time again, I've said it in multiple podcasts now. If them chances fall to Chris Wood's feet, I would expect him to score them. And Everton game was a great example. It fell to his feet, which is not often it does at the minute, because every single ball to him seems to be at his head. And he brought it down and he shot, and it was so good. And just to sort of score 2 goals in the manner that we did, with no cross, no set piece, nothing sort of long ball at all, it just typifies how we are playing at the minute.
Yeah, and I do think that is partly because of Vidra being in there. Like you say, most balls to Chris Wood go to his head. That wasn't the case in the Everton game because there was space to get it to his feet, and that is testament to what Vidra's doing. So, yeah, people can criticise Vidra, and I will agree with the people that say he can't finish. If it doesn't matter if he can't finish at the minute, because Chris Wood is finishing and he's bringing something different to our game that Chris Wood is benefiting from. So, therefore, he deserves his place in the team.
Yep, good, great performance. Who was your man of
the match? Man of the match, who did I go for? No, I think I picked Dwight. I think you can't really not pick Dwight. I think it's got to be Dwight or Brownhill. I could understand why people would have picked Brownhill. But yeah, it's got to be Dwight. Dwight won it on the Turfcast, on the prestigious man of the match poll that we have on Turfcast as well. So congratulations to Dwight McNeil. But just before we get on to the fan reaction, I want to ask who you think is the best front 2 at the club at the minute. It's got to be the current front 2, hasn't it?
it's difficult to argue it. I can't really. I've said it before. I say it again. All 4 of them offer, something that if they were coming on, I wouldn't be like deflated. If they were starting together, I'd still think we had a chance. So we've got 4 good strikers. None of them are uprooting trees at the minute, but as a partnership, you can't really argue. Well, it's working. What's working now?
Favourite central midfield pairing then?
Oh, that's a difficult one. I like Westy and Court. I'm still a big fan of Westy and Court, but Brownhill in centre mid is exceptional compared to him on the wing. It's just a given now. We all accept that. But who do we drop for him in the future? It's got to be Westy and Brownhill for me. That probably be my favourite pair at the minute, which I don't like to say because I am a big fan of Court, but they're my favourite.
I do feel harsh on Cork. I think I've said before I would like to see Westy and Brownhill and Cork together. I don't think we've had a chance to see them two yet, because Cork's very good with the ball at his feet. That's where Cork shines compared to the other two. I think Cork is very good at the ball with his feet, but obviously Westy's got a set piece delivery. So if you drop in Westy, you're losing a really good set piece taker. So I don't know. I think for me, I'd have Brownhill and Westy at the minute because it's working so well, and you can't really justify dropping Brownhill when he's played so well.
Just out of sort of like loving my stats and stuff like that, just to sort of give you an example of what Westy and Brownhill bring you, is they do bring you high energy, they do bring you the high press, and it is working at the minute. But with that, we only had 291, which is just less than half of the amount of passes that Everton had. And we only had managed a 68% pass completion, whereas they had an 81%, and they had double the passes. So just to show you, like, if you had Corky in there, your stats and your passes are probably more successful.
Yeah, definitely
more passes, but then you lose the energy that the other two are bringing. So they're different types of different games.
Yeah, 100%. I think when you're playing a team like Everton away, even some of the, I'm going to say some of the top 6, but maybe the likes of your Spurs and your Arsenals, not your Liverpools and your Cities. When you're playing them sort of teams, I think Brownhill and Westy would be best in the middle. But when the onus is on us to take the game to the opponent, like when we're at home to Newcastle, for example, when we're away to Sheffield United, that's coming up soon. Well, at the end of the season, I think Cork could be the best for them sort of games. But like Leeds United at home, for example, I think Brownhill would be best to try and match their energy in the middle. So yeah, I think they both bring different sort of things to the team. Anyway, that's what me and Simon thought of the big Everton win at Goodison Park. And here's what the Burnley fans thought of it through the fan reaction.
Good morning from New Zealand. Everton 1, Burnley 2. Martin, hey!
Well, you know what, Heath? We get together for these games, always expecting another hard watch.
Not today.
Not today at all. Actually, not in the last 3 games, but this one caps it all.
Absolutely. It was a really, really good game of football. End to end.
Look, it was a complete performance, right from the word go, and broken record time. Wood and Vidra up front.
Superb. Yeah, they worked so hard off the ball, and Wood scored a lovely goal.
Looked like he meant it.
It looked like he meant it.
Yeah.
It was, again, pressing and making them make mistakes, and it was a great finish from him.
Yeah, so, no, terrific. And then, of course, man of the match, Heath.
It's got to be Dwight McNeil.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
What a goal.
Yeah, so, no, a complete performance, looking dangerous pretty much every time we went forward, and also strong without the ball. They had a lot of the ball, as you know, but didn't really slice us open that much at all.
They had a few chances. They did, yeah. But
I thought the tracking back in midfield was brilliant.
Good to see Brownhill back in his natural position in the middle of the park. Goodmanson on the right. We look a much more balanced unit, a much more balanced team when he's in the middle and Goodmanson's on the right. He could have scored. Goodmanson could have scored again.
Yeah.
He came off the post. It was a really, really good, great team performance, but I know, capped off by that wonderful goal by Dwight McNeil.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking, Heath, for some weaknesses or some, soft spots in the game, and nothing really came up to me apart from, I thought Taki was just off a wee bit. I mean, he had a couple of good good headers and saves on occasion, but he looked a bit wanting and maybe their goal. But apart from that, no, terrific.
Pope had another good game. He pulled off some good saves. Pickford goes off injured just before the international break. Pope's probably thinking, hello, here's my opportunity. But just a really entertaining game of football and a really important 3 points before the international break. 2 games coming up straight afterwards, away at Southampton and then Newcastle. If we win those, I think we're almost home and dry. So yeah, a really good performance and up the Clarets. Goodbye.
Very pleasing all round.
Yep, good to see you from New Zealand.
Hey up Clarets, how we doing? Anti-football here? Hey, what about that bloody performance, against Toffees, Everton? Bloody hell, that were brilliant, weren't we? Weren't we amazing? Played some fantastic stuff in that first half. Oh, I loved it. I bloody loved it. 2 cracking goals as well, weren't they? Could have had more, couldn't it? Could have been 3. Should have had a couple of penalties and all. I don't know what the bloody hell an handball is anymore. There were 2 there. They were blatant to me. And it seems like VAR didn't even bloody look at them. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, thankfully, didn't make a bloody difference, did it? Because we won. A cracking victory. Oh, wow. Oh, that first goal. Lovely from Wood. He seems back at it now, doesn't he? Oh, he took that brilliantly. Left Pigfuck on his knees. Didn't even dive, did he? The little short-ass prick. Oh, brilliant. Little Pigfuck. And didn't have a chance with Dwight, did he? Oh, no way. And then you see him shouting and screaming at his defenders and that. And then in that light pink costume he wears, he looks like a little piggy, doesn't he? Little wee. He's shouting at you, wee, shouting at his defenders. You can't tell what he's saying. Just imagine him going wee, like a little fucking pig. I'm fucked. Bloody big fuck. Oh, he makes me laugh. And then he got injured, did he? Yeah, bloody good stuff. Well, you know, I don't serious, I don't think he'll be alright, but I mean good stuff, like, because might give Popey a chance with England now, Might give him a proper go instead of, these token gestures in nothing games and that. Oh, I hope so. He should be England's number 1. Come on, everyone knows it now, Gareth. Stop fannying about. Make the change. But, that bloody Dwight's goal. Oh, it was fantastic, weren't it? Oh, unbelievable. Oh, I made up for him, Rating bloody post box. Rating corner, weren't it? Oh, no keeper would get, not even Pope would have got that one. Never mind, pig fuck me. Oh, boy, it were good, weren't it, to see his, his little celebration. What's that all about? I like it. It's like telephone. Is he ringing someone or something? And Barnes' celebration with eyes. That one. Yeah, well, I know what that was about, whether it was his daughter or something, weren't it? His daughter said, why don't you do this next time you score? So he did, and it stuck. But Dwight, I don't know what Dwight's is all about. He hadn't explained it, has he? What's he on about? On phone like that. Yeah, it's all good fun, isn't it? At least none of our players do that bloody sniff your fingers celebration. Have you seen that? There's a few do it, isn't there? Kane does it, where they score a goal and then they go sniff the finger, running away, sniffing the finger. Suarez does it. Suarez is worse. He sniffs all of them. He goes sniffing all his fucking fingers. What's that all about, you dirty buggers? I don't know. You know who I blame it on? That bloody Germany manager, Jürgen Löw. Bloody Jürgen Löw. Where you remember in whatever finals it were, wasn't it? When he was having a great good route around his balls, in his pants, and then I've got a face full, did it? And right stuff, what a filthy fucker. Funny sits down as if no one can see him there. So I just have a sneaky sniff now. Woohoo, yeah. Oh, bloody hell. Dirty bastard. So, yeah, I don't know what it's all about. It seems to be a thing with footballers, doesn't it? Eh? Mucky buggers. Get your hands out your pants and sniffing them, you bloody disgusting. I don't know. Anyway, back to Clarets. So, well, there's no way this team's going down, is there? Play like that. We're only looking up. Straight after game. It's amazing what a difference it makes in it. Once we it's like, a full week's rest before a game preparation makes a big difference, doesn't it, to energy levels and that. And now we've got 3 weeks off. Imagine how we're going to be after 3 bloody weeks. Eh? Playing Saints as well. Oh, it's all set up nicely now, isn't it, for us to leapfrog them. And then, well, who knows where we can end up. We could be above bloody Leeds. Oh, the fantastic free-flowing football of Bielsa. Eh? We could be above them. Eh? Oh, onwards and upwards for Clarets in it now, eh? Okay, that's me for now. Take care of yourselves. Ta-ra! Do-do-do-do. Anti-football. Do-do-do-do. Anti-football.
So there you have it. That was the fan reaction. Big shout out to New Zealand Clarets. Thank you for sending it in again, lads. And of course, Anti-Football. Thank you to Ante for sending the reaction in again. And I'll say the same thing I say every single week. We are, of course, always looking for more people to get involved, especially for the rest of the season. Of course, season 2 of This Is of Turfcast. We'll definitely carry on the fan reaction all the way through that. So we're definitely looking for more people to get involved. If you want to get involved, all you have to do is send me a video of yourself chatting about the game for 2 to 3 minutes and then send it to us at turfcastpodcast@gmail.com. And we will put you in the fan reaction show on YouTube and, of course, on the podcast as well. And one thing I want to mention before we start getting into the next thing is if you're watching on Facebook and you do like what you see, as it says at the bottom of your screen, we are now eligible for Facebook stars again. So if you do like what you see and you want to support Turfcast, please think about sending us some stars. If not, don't worry. Obviously, it's not obligatory. But if you can't send stars for whatever reason, feel free to share the stream because that'll help as well. And more people will see it. And obviously, the brand of Turfcast will continue to grow. You did the watch-along on Saturday, didn't you? Did we get any stars?
Yes, I think.
We did. I didn't know that. You never said. I think
I'm in a different world to you. The amount of times you say, you never said. I literally only have to go through my messages and say, Joe, don't forget it. It's there.
Most of the time, I don't listen to you.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
I think Benson, what's his thingy? Benson sent us stars.
Robert Benson. I love Robert Benson. What a lad Robert Benson is.
I think Robert Benson sent us stars because, you know, when it comes up on the chat that there's a comment, but it's just blank and it just says the name. And that happened twice with Benson. So I think maybe he sent us some stars.
Well, apologies, Robert, that Simon didn't give you a big shout out for sending stars.
At the end, if he watches back to the match reaction, which is obviously available on YouTube as a separate video, I do give him a shout out.
So there you go. Thank you, Robert, if you did send stars. But if you're watching on Facebook now and you do like what Turfcast do, you can send us Facebook stars to help support your stream. Support the creator, which is us. But like I said, if not, don't worry. Just share the stream and that will help as well. But yeah, let's move on. Because, of course, as we have mentioned at the start of the show, and now it says at the bottom of your screen, we are, of course, sponsored by Pitch Sports. And part of that contract is what we do is, what I do, is send a video to Pitch every single week asking you, the fans, what your opinion on a certain aspect. This week's video has just been sent today. So if you want to go and answer it, you can. I haven't put anything on social media yet because I'm not sure they've actually put it up, but I sent it them this morning. They haven't sent me a picture. But now this gives me the perfect chance to throw Simon under the bus a little bit and ask him live on air what his response to the question is. Don't worry, it's not that big of one this week. So I couldn't really think of a good question. But what is or should I say, is the Everton game the best performance of the season so far?
by a country mile. It's not even a thing. There was a couple of negatives, but every game has had multiple negatives. Every game has had some positives, and this outweighed the positives. Outweighed it by a country mile. Yeah. Just off the top of my head, I can't think of. The only other thing that sort of buzzed me out was the comeback against Villa. As much as this one, because it was a different type of thing. We don't come from behind often to win. And we weren't in the best of form, but we were just sort of finding his feet at that time. So that was equally sort of elating at the time for us.
Some good words in this podcast this week.
I'm on fire, mate. Adjectives. I've got an adjective book there. I'm flying with the podcast. But no, it's this one was the complete football at times. It really was. It was we did everything. Past it, triangles, high press, long ball, unbelievable goal. A great finish from Chris Wood. It is by far the best performance for me.
What about the Palace game?
No, I can't. Just because of the goal, just because of the high press, it was. And the Palace one, even though Rodriguez was out for Everton, you know when Zaha's out that you've got half a chance. And you don't think that necessarily with Everton just because Rodriguez is out that they're here for the taking. Whereas Palace, it's like even they don't believe that they've got a chance of winning without Zaha. So yeah, for me, Everton.
Yeah, you know what? I don't disagree with you. I do think it is the Everton one. I did say in the video it's either this one or the Palace one, really. But I think you've brought up a good game in the Villa one. I think that one was a good one for different reasons. I don't. It wasn't the ultimate performance, the Villa one, was it? It was just like you say, a good win. But yeah, if you want to go and answer that, please just head over to the PitchSpot app now. You can pause the podcast, pause the podcast, go and answer it, and come back. Kieran, if you still can't log in or the question's not working, log out, log back in. If that don't work, delete the app, download it again, log back in, get your answers on there. It makes me look good, mate. But yeah, it probably has. It's probably been banned, yeah. It probably has. But yeah, that's pretty much it then. Obviously, we don't have a game to look forward to this week.
No, obviously, we've got some content to try and create for the next 2 weeks, but I'm sure we can do that. We could do it like a. I was just before waiting for you. Sky Sports, it's on behind me, but it's on in the other room as well, so I can see that one easier. But it were mentioning about this. I think it was in Bulgaria. The referee got chased off the pitch, and the match abandoned after 21 minutes after he booked somebody, and they got a yellow card. So we'll try and find some interesting world news of football that we can throw in there. Yeah,
there will be some form of podcast coming up, whether it's me and Simon or. Something else. We'll do something. We're not going to take a 2-3 week break like other podcasts probably will do at this particular time. I don't know why you're pulling your face. That's not a dig at another Burnley podcast. I'm just saying that's what podcasts normally do, don't they?
I just saw someone going under a bus over there.
Not a blonde hair, yeah. No, I'm joking. But yeah. But no, I'm joking. Obviously, we love the guys at No Nay Never. But yeah, there will be more content coming up on Turfcast. It might be absolutely dog shit, but there will be podcasts coming up. We will get something out there. I think that's where we fail. We're like quality over quantity, whereas all other podcasts are like quality. Sorry, I meant to say quantity over quality. Whereas all the other podcasts are like, we're not going to put shit out. Whereas like, no, we will put shit out. We will make you listen to shit because Burnley aren't playing. We don't care. You are going to listen to something shit over the next few weeks.
We've got some good ideas. I know some good ideas that we spoke about previously. We might get a chance to do them. Well,
obviously, yeah, we've spoken about a certain friendly ghost. That might be something we could do. I've spoken to Kieran about a certain predator. That might be something that I probably will do over the next few weeks. Over the next couple of weeks.
In the chat, by the way, well done.
What?
If you can guess what we're on about in the chat, by the way, well done.
Yeah, it is a certain friendly ghost, a predator, and there's also a tree. A tree could be coming up. I don't think even you know that one because that one's something that I've been working on. Dan Barnes, if you're listening, Dan, you'll know what I mean. Or will you? So there could be a friendly ghost on the podcast. There could be a predator, and there could be a tree.
Matt, fair enough.
There might be absolutely fucking nothing because nothing's set in stone yet. So like I said, we will make you listen to shit, whereas other podcasts don't. They'll only put good stuff out. We put shit out. I guess we pretty much start wrapping up then, really. My battery's only on 30%. I get cocky with this laptop battery, just like I did for Everton pre-game show. I'm like, it's on 60%, it'll last forever. Now it's on 30% and it's red. So that could really go off at any time. Because it's doing this computer, honestly, it can't handle it. It can't handle it. But Simon, thank you once again for joining us on Turfcast Podcast. I should stop saying thank you. It's practically your job now.
Yeah, it feels like my job. But, yeah.
You are contractually obliged to be here every single week.
I'll take that, no problem.
So thank you for fulfilling your contractual obligations. We will put something out over the next few weeks. We're not just going to wait till the Southampton game because it is fucking ages away. So whatever it is that we put out, hopefully we'll see you there. If not, we'll see you for the Southampton game.